Oh my goodness, everybody. It's been an incredible week at Econos 2017. I'm home. I'm tired. For a person with disabilities, being around that type of social environment is incredibly trying, and I think I did awesome. And I really feel a lot of gratitude for the opportunity to go and experience this, and I can't even begin to quantify the incredible experience and what it's done and how it's affected me and everything like that. But I'm gonna try by just running you through a really quick scan of everything that I picked up along my travels this week. So very first is going to be Sean Looney's book, An Army of Problem Solvers. I have two, and so what this is going to be for is I'm going to put together my notes to give to the people who sponsored me so that they can read what I've learned over this past week. And hopefully it's of as much benefit to them as it was to me. Some of it is going to be really specific to social enterprises, but a lot of it can be applied to anything. So I'm looking to share that with them. And the other one's going to be mine, and I'm going to read it cover to cover because I think Sean Looney has some wisdom that is just going to transform this nation, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to work with him. I'm just going to say that much. This was my sketch. You might see it. I posted it on Facebook. I think she captured the essence of me very well with the coffee cup and the something behind her back. I think that's very Telltale Heather, don't you? Janie's Passions, she was the artist, and there was quite a few artists there. There was a interactive mural painting, window painting opportunity there too that everyone got to participate in, and I'll get to that in a minute. So what else do I have to share? I went through to a variety of learning opportunities. So there was 3 workshops throughout the day. So the first one I attended really changed my mind about working with a bank or with a trust. It talked about a bank that was opened at one of the poorest postal codes in Alberta, specifically for marginalized people, and I was just blown away by it. They've asked us not to talk about it publicly with specific details because it is not launched yet. It's very new and very progressive and very inclusive, and I just loved learning about it. So I won't say a whole lot about that other than the fact that it changed the way I look at a certain financial group. And then we took the second group was with Be Local, and what they gave us, so this is one of the sponsors, that's Reap. Right there. My nails are dirty. And they had this incredible poster I just have to show you, and this is probably going to go up in the kitchen. So this is Alberta, and all these little dots here, if you zoom in, those are all animals and fruits and vegetables and produce and dairy and beverages and honey and baked goods and poultries and retailers of local food. So if there was any question about whether or not the local food movement has a stronghold yet in Alberta, I mean, this map just blew my mind. And there's a couple people on here that I don't see. So I'll be dropping a note to them because I really feel like if we're networking the local food movement, it really can create an edge for people who are just getting into it to have a head start, at getting and sourcing their food locally. Lowen's was one. Oh, and they have a social responsibility meter for all of their members. So they keep track of how many volunteer hours they've had and how many CO2 has been tons of CO2 has been diverted, and how much kilograms of waste has been diverted from landfills. That kind of social accountability in big numbers is really exciting, right? When you hear, oh, well, we diverted 2 tons of trash or two kilograms of trash from the landfill, you're kind of like, oh yeah. But when you hear 11 million, you're kind of like, wow, you're part of an association that's 11 million. It's just a lot more impressive when those big numbers, right? And then, so Lowen's is one of the products that comes from that company. They gave us all chapsticks, and all of their products are not organic certified and not fair trade certified, but they are accountable in a way that those certifications cannot be. One of the farms that he sources one of his materials from is the sister of a friend of mine. And so I'm kind of looking at his accountability, and you can see right on here, it's like, oh, well, the beeswax came from ABC Bees, and the canola oil came from Highwood Crossing Organic canola oil in High River. Well, that's an accountability that you can't get a stamp for, right? Like, that's really a unique type of accountability. Then, and there was also the kombucha company. I can't seem to find their note, but that was also there. I'm sure they're in their map. If I take a quick look. I'm not a big kombucha drinker yet. I'm sure I will be because of all this talk about leaky guts. True Booch was there as well. So, you know, those experiences were awesome. I talked with people today, and I sat down and I told them, this is what I'm working on. I'm doing 100 Days to Launch, and you know, I've kind of got these names I'm bouncing around, but this is the concept. What do you think, right? And they were able to give me feedback and suggestions and information that I had never considered, that I didn't know about. It was like having my own think tank, my own steering committee, you know, just for a moment, just for, I think it was 3 half-an-hour sessions with 9 or 10 people, you know, and some of the things that we talked about and some of the names that they gave me of people to contact who can support me on this journey were out of this world, right? And one of the things that was mentioned to me was sustainable assets, right? So instead of looking at assets like money, you know, cash money, or your house, or something physical, right? Well, not so much physical, but material. They said, like, what are your sustainable assets? What sustains your livelihood? And they said, like, social assets, connections, self-esteem is an asset. You know, physical things like food is an asset that you might not consider how much impact it has on your life. You know, so when I got all these cards over the past week, you know, like, I was just kind of blown away by how many connections there were. This one jumped out at me. This was the most powerful discussion I've heard, and Danielle and her partner were working on training First Nations and Métis entrepreneurs. Danielle herself is a Métis entrepreneur who deals with social enterprise. She wants to empower people like me who are Métis, who are marginalized, who are facing some barriers to their social enterprise that maybe not everyone else does. You know, momentum. You know, they help sponsor this event, and, you know, getting to know the people that I did from this association were fantastic. When I met Kara Jones at this event, it felt like I had known her all my life. It felt like I was sitting down a coffee with someone I had met and known for years, but I've never met her before, and that was really amazing. So I can't wait to listen to her podcast in the near future. Katie was at the window for the painting. What they're going to do is create augmented reality for these window paintings that they have. So this means you're downloading an app onto your phone or your iPad, and you're looking at this artwork on a window, and it's going to come alive. on the phone and have visualizations to it. You can't see on the window, but you can see it through your technology. Like, I was just amazed by that. And of course, I'm like, I need it for this and this and this, right? So, couple things that I'll pass on. I'm already gone 10 minutes over. I don't know what I was talking about, but I mean, the name Earth Arts is probably going to get dropped. I'm going to approach a First Nations elder and ask for a naming ceremony and see what happens. That's all I'm really going to tell you of my plans. Like, for a moment, I'm just going to keep these cards close, you know, and keep my poker face on and see what comes, right? Like, there's a lot of contacts that I have to make over the next couple weeks and a lot of work I got to do. And I think it's going to be, look at this card is Braille. Isn't that amazing? Okay, and I think it's going to be bigger than I ever dreamed it could be, right? Like, I can't even begin. But honestly, Sean Looney's book, Social Enterprise, if you have anything to do with a not-for-profit or social enterprise or truth and reconciliation, oh, thank you so much.